The lie I believed about success. Okay, so let me set the stage. It's a Monday. I'm sitting at my desk, wearing what can only be described as the same hoodie I was born in. The sun is shining, my to-do list is glaring at me like I owe it money, and I'm just sitting there, scrolling, not working, not even pretending to work, just vibe scrolling. You know the kind. You open Instagram to check one DM, and 47 minutes later, you're emotionally invested in the wedding of two golden retrievers in Italy. I'm crying. I don't even like weddings. That's how the day starts, which is honestly how most of my productive days start. And if you're judging me, relax, we all do it. Some of y'all spent 3 hours yesterday Googling how to be more productive while actively avoiding the thing you needed to do. So yeah, we're in this together. Anyway, I used to believe in this fantasy, this mythical, mysterious creature known as the successful version of me. You know them, right? They wake up at 5 a.m. They drink green smoothies with ingredients that sound like medieval curses. They journal, they meditate, they do yoga on a rock, at sunrise surrounded by goats or whatever. Meanwhile, I'm waking up at 9:43 a.m. in a panic, wondering if my boss noticed I didn't reply to an email from 2 days ago. So one time, I tried to be that person. I watched a video called The 4 a.m. Morning Routine That Made Me a Millionaire. Obviously, I watched this at 1:17 a.m. while eating Pringles, but I got inspired. So the next day, I set my alarm for 4 a.m. It went off, I sat up, I blinked once, and then I punched my phone like it owed me child support and went back to sleep. That was the beginning and end of my millionaire journey. But back then, I thought success was a checklist. Money, matching socks, a personality that screams, I drink black coffee, and run marathons. I thought that once I had all that stuff, I'd magically become confident. Like I'd unlock a new personality trait called peace. Spoiler, I did not. In fact, the more I achieved, the more my anxiety turned up like it was DJing the after party. It was like, congrats on the promotion. Here's a crippling fear of failure and imposter syndrome. Have fun! I once landed this job that looked amazing on LinkedIn. People were like, wow, you made it! I was like, yeah, totally! Meanwhile, I was Googling, what does synergy mean in a meeting? Half my job was just nodding confidently while praying no one asked me to open a spreadsheet. I wore slacks, I owned multiple pens, I packed quinoa for lunch even though my taste buds were screaming for chicken nuggets. And every time I updated my resume, I felt like I was lying to everyone, including myself. Here's the thing they don't tell you about successful people. Half of them are just better at looking busy. They've got Trello boards, color-coded calendars, vision boards, and 57 unread self-help books that all say the same thing. Wake up earlier and stop being a disappointment. So I tried to follow them. I made a morning routine so long it took up the whole morning. I had alarms for drinking water, reminders to breathe. I literally scheduled my anxiety. 9 a.m., panic. 9:30 a.m., existential dread. 10 a.m., deep breathing, cry in bathroom. My calendar looked like the itinerary for a breakdown. Have you seen those YouTubers who are like, I wake up at 4 a.m., go to the gym, write a chapter of my novel, do client calls, meditate, and read 100 pages of a book, all before 8 a.m. Bro, I wake up at 8 a.m., stare at the wall for 20 minutes, scroll TikTok until I feel guilty, and then spend 45 minutes debating which mug to use for coffee. And if I get one thing done before noon, Nobel Prize, please. And then there was this moment. I hit all my goals. The job, the salary, even the tiny apartment with the fake plant I kept alive for 4 whole months. I had made it. But instead of feeling happy, I felt like someone had handed me a sandwich with nothing inside, just bread and expectations. I was like, wait, this is it? This is the success I've been chasing since I was 12 and thought having a briefcase made you cool? Why do I feel like crying into my quinoa? So, of course, I did what any millennial having an identity crisis would do. I bought a self-help book, then another, then 17 more. At one point, I was reading a book titled How to Stop Reading Self-Help Books and Start Living. I highlighted that sentence, put the book down, and immediately ordered 3 more. I was spiraling, but in a very organized, bullet-pointed, Amazon Prime delivered kind of way. One night around 2 a.m., because that's when all emotional breakdowns are legally required to happen, I found myself Googling how to quit your job, move to a mountain, and become a goat farmer. No, I don't know anything about goats. No, I don't like nature. I once got winded trying to climb a hill with a gentle slope. But in that moment, the idea of waking up with 0 emails and a goat named Greg felt like inner peace. So, yeah, I almost threw it all away for barn life and a bucket hat. Fantasy of starting over. There's always this fantasy, right? That if we just start over, new job, new city, new life, we'll be better. But here's the thing. You still take you with you. An anxious, overthinking, emotionally constipated ball of unresolved childhood trauma, but now in a scenic environment. It took a while, but eventually I started asking better questions. Not how do I become successful, but what actually makes me feel like me? Like, what if success isn't the fancy job, or the morning routine, or the followers, or the income, or the 7-figure side hustle? What if it's just kind to yourself, finding joy in stupid little things, like dancing in your kitchen, or petting a cat that isn't yours? I realized that making it doesn't have to look like the cover of Forbes. Sometimes it looks like ordering dessert just because you want it, not because it's your cheat day. It's drinking water, texting your friends back, forgiving yourself for that awkward thing you said in 2013. That's the real success. So now, my version of success is soft, it's slow, and it's kind of messy. I still procrastinate, still spiral, still consider moving to a cabin in the woods at least once a week. But now, I laugh about it. I don't punish myself for not being a productivity robot, because I'm not. I'm a human, one with emotions and flaws and a deeply concerning addiction to overpriced lattes. So yeah, I believed a lie, that success would fix me, that once I achieved enough, I'd finally feel okay. But the truth, feeling okay starts now, in the middle of the mess, with bad hair and unfinished to-do lists and too many tabs open, both in your browser and your brain. And if you've ever felt like you're the only one who doesn't have it together, surprise, none of us do. We're all winging it. Some people are just better at curating their chaos on Instagram. You don't need to become someone else to be enough. You're already doing better than you think. If this sounded like your inner monologue on a Tuesday afternoon, you're definitely not alone. I'm probably procrastinating something right now, too. So, hit that subscribe button. Join the chaos. Laugh with me. Cry if you need to. And maybe unlearn the same lie I did, one nap at a time.